Banking is one of the most important financial activities for any economy, and therefore it is very important for us to understand what are banks and what is the actual meaning of banking. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shumaila Hassan, Department of Economics, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, and today in this module we are here to discuss about banks, its meaning and types. So let's see in this module what are we going to discuss. In this module, we will be discussing about how do we define banks. Secondly, we will be defining what is the meaning of banking. And third, we will discuss about what are the different types of banks specifically for India. So let's first discuss the question, what are banks? First and foremost, we'll start with the peculiar features of bank. Banks are financial institutions, that means they deal with finances. Banks are the institutions that perform lending and depositing functions. They are also the providers of financial services to its customers. There are several banks that are catering to different needs of its customers, like retail banks, the commercial banks and the corporate banks. Also, let's talk about the regulation of banks. In most of the countries, the banks are regulated by the government bodies or specialized government bodies known as the central banks. Let's understand banks a little more. Banks are a very important part of an economy because they provide the vital services for both the consumers as well as the businesses. As the financial service providers, they give you a safe place to store your cash. Through a variety of accounts such as the current account and the saving account, you are able to conduct the banking transactions such as deposits, withdrawals, check writing and bill payments. You can also save your money and earn interest on your investments. So now let's look at the bigger picture. What is banking? Banking is basically defined as the business activity of accepting and safeguarding money which is owned by other individuals and entities, and then lending out this money in order to conduct economic activities such as making profit or simply covering up the operating expenses. Banking is directly or indirectly concerned with few important things or activities that take place in an economy. Let's say, for example, banking is very closely connected to the trade of a country. Unless and until the two countries which are getting into trade with each other have a strong and robust banking system, they will not be able to carry out international transactions smoothly. So therefore, in order to conduct the international trade smoothly, it is very important that both the countries entering into trade should have a very strong banking and financial system. Secondly, banks are concerned with managing your cash. Whatever money you are depositing in the banks in the form of demand deposits or time deposits, they are managed by the banks effectively on day-to-day basis. Thirdly, with the help of the money that you keep in the form of deposits with the banks are able to create the much needed credit in the economy. And finally, when you are able to create credit in any economy, it stimulates the investments. Now let's talk about the different types of bank that exist in India. The banks in India can be segregated as central bank, commercial banks, small finance bank, payments bank and the cooperative banks. The commercial banks can be further classified as the public sector banks, the private sector banks, foreign banks and the RRBs. So let's first talk about the central banks. A central bank is an organization that primarily manages a monetary system. The term often refers to the central bank for a country or a group of countries like the European Union. But not every governing body uses a central bank. The duties of a central bank depend upon the policies of different countries. For example, a central bank might have a goal of maintaining the price stability, which means, among other things, limiting how quickly the prices rise over the time due to inflation. Banks often have to juggle between competing goals. For example, a bank might also be charged with keeping the unemployment level at the lowest. The best example to explain the central bank would be the Reserve Bank. The Reserve Bank, that is, the Central Bank of India, is responsible for controlling the entire financial system, inclusive of the other different types of banks that are operating in the country exclusively. Now let's talk about the commercial banks. Commercial banks are regulated under the Banking Regulation Act of 1949, and their business model is primarily designed to make profit. Their primary function is to accept deposits and grant loans to the general public, to the corporates and the government. Here are a few examples of the commercial banks which are operating in our country. Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, to name a few. As already mentioned earlier, commercial banks are further bifurcated as the public sector bank, the private sector bank, foreign banks and the RRBs. So let's have a look at these categories individually. First, let's talk about the public sector banks. The public sector banks, these are the nationalized banks and account for more than 75% of the total banking business in the country. Majority of the stake in these banks are held by the government. In terms of volume, SBI is the largest public sector bank in India, and after its merger with 5 associate banks as on 1st of April 2017, it has got a position among the 50 top banks of the world. So here is a list of the 12 public sector banks of India, starting from the State Bank of India, and it also includes banks like Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda, Indian Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, Union Bank, and so on. Now let's talk about the private sector bank. These include banks in which major stake or equity is held by the private shareholders. All the banking rules and regulations laid down by the Reserve Bank of India will be applicable on private sector banks as well. The examples of private sector banks are Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, Yes Bank, DCB Bank, RBL Bank, so on and so forth. Now let's talk about the third category of the commercial banks, that is the foreign banks. A foreign bank is one that has its headquarters in a foreign country but operates in India as a private entity. These banks are under the obligation to follow the rules and regulations of its home country as well as the country in which they are operating. A few examples of the foreign banks which are operating in India are HSBC, that is Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank Corporation, Standard Chartered and Public Bank. Now let's talk about the regional rural banks. These are also scheduled commercial banks, but they are established with the main objective of providing credit to weaker sections of the society like agricultural laborers, marginal farmers and small enterprises. They usually operate at regional levels in different states of India and may have branches in selected urban cities as well. A few other important functions carried out by the RRBs include providing banking and financial services to the rural and semi-urban areas, government operations like disbursement of wages under the Manrega, distribution of pensions, etc., para-banking facilities like the debit card, credit card and locker facilities. A few examples of the RRBs in India are the Arunachal Pradesh Rural Bank, the Odisha Gramya Bank and the Punjab Grameen Bank. Further, let's talk about the Small Finance Bank. This is a niche banking segment in the country and is aimed to provide financial inclusion to the sections of the society that are not served under the banking umbrella. The main customers of small finance banks include the micro industries, small and marginalized farmers, unorganized sector, as well as the small businesses. These are licensed under the Section 22 of the Banking Regulation Act of 1949 and are governed by the provision of the RBI Act 1934 and FEMA. A few examples of the small finance banks are AU Small Finance Bank, the Fincare, and the Jana Small Finance Bank. Now let's talk about the latest addition to the system of banking, that is the Payments Bank. This is relatively new model of bank in the Indian banking industry. It was conceptualized by the Reserve Bank of India and is allowed to accept a restricted deposit. The amount is currently limited to Rs 1 lakh per customer. They also offer services like the ATM card, debit card, net banking and mobile banking. And who amongst us does not know about Paytm? So Paytm is the most important example of the Payments Bank which is most prevalent in India. The other two examples are the Airtel's Payment Bank and the India Post Payments Bank. Now let's talk about the cooperative banks. Cooperative banks are registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912 and they are run by an elected managing committee. These work on no profit, no loss basis and mainly serve entrepreneurs, small businesses, industries and self-employment in urban areas. In the rural areas, they mainly finance agricultural-based activities like farming, livestock and hatcheries. The examples of the cooperative banks are the SVC Cooperative Bank Limited and the Bharat Cooperative Bank Limited. So that is all about banking, banks and the different types of banks. In the next module, we will be meeting you with the functions of bank, that is, the primary functions and the secondary functions. So, stay tuned. Till then, happy learning.